transition into what we're going to talk about today. And so the conversation that we're having today is about the big three. Now, as we say the big three, we're referring to 3 anime: One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. Now, I know everybody.
Dragon Ball Z does not belong in the big three. It precedes the big three. It is their father. Correct. Please stop. DBZ is part of the big three because y'all obviously are fucking new. Please.
It is not.
And there's no such thing as a new big three.
There's not.
Stop it.
Fucking preach.
There's not.
I said this last week. If there's no new Destiny's Child, there's no such thing as a new big three. I say what the fuck I period. Fucking period.
Right.
Yeah. The big three. The reason that the big three was coined that way was because
they carried Shonen Jump.
Correct. Back when they first came out, they literally were on. That was literally Shonen Jump in a general. That was what it was. Also, it was also one of the times when they first all came on TV that they ruled the cable network. Before streaming, before YouTube, before Funimation, Crunchyroll, literally those 3 were on TV at all times. So that's why they got labeled as the big three. So when people come on and say, look, this is part of the big three, this is part of the big three, it's like, no, you got to know once what the big three is and the timing of it, because they all came out pretty close to each other. So, and not to mention, like, I think that if you say out of the big three, 1 or 2 of these are probably the most popular anime, I don't think people will argue. Like, literally, One Piece is considered the most popular anime in freaking Japan, like the land of anime. So it's like, I don't think they're going to get it wrong because this is what they do. So that's what the big three is. Like, people have to clarify that and understand that there's only one big three. That's the only 3 that's
one, and there will always never be another one.
Never be another one.
If you want to be real, the big three still technically going because One Piece never broke their shit up. Nope. But Naruto, Boruto is, you know what I'm saying?
And then we don't talk about that.
And then
and Bleach is coming back.
Bleach is coming back. Yeah. Really, the big three is still running. So, like, stop with this new big three shit. That shit is not true.
If your anime ain't touched about 15 years, it's not. We ain't got to talk about it. Like, seriously, like, your anime got to be as old as some of your children's. Like, that's the point of literally the big three because they've been going for so damn long, whether it's anime or manga. Not to mention they rule the market when it comes to just casual anime people. You can ask people, have you heard of Naruto? I've heard of that. It could be just a random ass person on the street, and 9 out of 10 they've heard of Naruto, One Piece, or freaking Bleach. So literally that's just how it was back in the Shonen Jump days, back when those 3 just came out. So they're the only ones that's going to have that label. Now, out of us 3, I know we got pretty big fans of the big 3. I am a One Piece stan. People know that. I don't throw it in people's faces, but I do let people know I do love One Piece. Like, Zoro's my boy. That's literally my favorite anime character at this point in my life. I have so much memorabilia of Zoro running around my house, swords, figurines, pictures, pops. Like, it doesn't matter. I have tons of Zoro stuff. And my wife is Nico Robin. So literally when I say I am a One Piece fan or stan, that's who I am. But that doesn't discredit Naruto or Bleach. I personally think that, in my humble opinion, I think Bleach has the better women. If we're talking about waifus, like going across the list. And I think just Naruto in general, people know Naruto way more than they would know One Piece. So I think that all 3 have some type of appeal to it. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's my opinion on it. But Bleach and Naruto, for sure, like, they have their own following, their own gathering, and those teams are pretty strong within themselves. So
Naruto fans can't be toxic, though. I will say that because they be getting on my goddamn nerves, and I'm a Naruto fan. Shit.
Right. Would you consider Naruto to be the most toxic fan base?
One of them, because niggas really fix they fuck ass whore mouths to say that JJK is based off of Naruto when the creator literally said Bleach and Yu fucking Hakusho. I done watched and read all of Naruto, and I done caught up to all of JJK. When I tell you the only thing remotely similar is that Gojo kind of looks like Kakashi, and that there's a 3-man fucking team. Outside of that, ain't shit from JJK is like fucking Naruto. And I want you Nimrods who think it is to read the interview with Gigi and learn some shit. And please pull your head from your fucking assholes that you don't seem to wipe.
What's crazy is I literally just saw on ESPN. They said
you saw that tweet, huh?
They said Jason Tatum versus the fucking Wizards, and they had fucking Gojo
versus the volcano guy. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh,
Sports
Center with the anime reference? Okay,
yeah.
Sports
But
Center.
then it was people in the comments, and they was like, how dare they show Goodwill Kakashi?
Right.
Like, what?
Hold on. Goodwill Kakashi. Don't do that. First of all, let me tell y'all raggedy motherfuckers something. Gojo is better sensei than Kakashi. Let's start there.
Kakashi.
He is watching Kakashi because let's just be honest. Kakashi is taking a lot of L's in his life. Got appreciation for Kakashi. Gojo has only taken one major L, and that led to him having one of the greatest moments in JJK. Wait till this shit animated. Y'all gonna see. I told y'all niggas, fuck you, man.
We here again because I'm up to date on the JJK.
Yeah, boy, y'all know that Shabuya, bro. Oh, like, I'm trying to tell y'all.
Shibuya brings up some bad memories too.
There's a lot of shit that happens in Shibuya. Like,
but what y'all not finna do is call Gojo a fucking Goodwill Kakashi because Gojo will beat Kakashi's ass without even breaking his fucking smile. Okay? So also Gojo is a great sensei because Gojo was, ready to go to war after Ryuji got fucking killed because of the fucking higher ups doing on bullshit. When Kakashi couldn't even take care of his fucking teacher's son or even watch after that little nigga when he was drinking fucking spoiled milk. But that's beside the fucking point. I ain't gonna get into this because niggas gonna get mad.
Yeah, no, I mean, for people, I get it, and that's part of why the big three also can become, like, somewhat toxic, because it's like, you're going to say that everything is based off of Naruto, and, like, mangaka would let you know, like, okay, I like these two series, and that's where I got my influence from. You're like, nah, it had to be one of the big three. No, it's like the only time that you actually claim the big three is when you want to make a point online.
I be really wanting to beat niggas up for saying that bullshit. I really want to be beating niggas up. Like, I really want y'all to understand.
Like, sometimes, like, it's called, being, like, I don't know, just literally when you have a series that's been groundbreaking and literally world-changing for, like, a whole genre or something. It's called literally being, like, honored. Like, so if somebody takes something from your series and brings it into their series, that means that they were watching what you did. And they liked it. So in return, they're like, you know what, I'm going to honor this series and basically show some love to it. Like, that's seriously. It's like, oh, I'm playing basketball and I like the Iverson's crossover, so I learned Iverson's crossover. That's nothing to knock Iverson. It's just showing that you're just putting love to who you idol. And it's the same concept when it comes to big three. People take, like, inspiration from so many different series. And, of course, they're going to take inspiration from the big three. It's natural. Because the big three were that popular. But to say it's just a clone or a knockoff, you don't give a damn about the series. Like, you really don't care.
Yeah.
Niggas watch one episode and think, oh, this got to be a knockoff. No, it's not. Y'all are a knockoff version of your fucking parents.
Seriously, but like I said, for me, I remember the big three. I remember seeing all of it on TV, whether it was Konami, whether it was shit back in the days of 4Kids TV when they censored the holy hell out of everything. And I remember literally watching them on TV and not knowing that it was anime one, just thinking it was normal cartoons, not having a whole nother clue that it was something entirely different, but just watching them. And it brought back memories because I was like, man, as I got younger, I was like, okay, I'm not watching this literally from when I was young. When I got older and started binge watching all these series and sitting down and watching them and understanding what's going on, I was like, bro, I could see why the world was going crazy. Like, the big three literally pushed us into an era of anime. Like, they literally helped, like, people from overseas start to love anime because of them and how popular they were and how popular the three main characters are. Between Luffy, Naruto, and Ichigo, like, literally, they're the banners of popular-ass characters. Like, seriously, Luffy is everywhere in Japan. The only other person I see that's as popular as Luffy and Naruto is Goku, right? Literally. And again, like going back to what we were saying, I consider Goku to be the grandfather to all of them because Dragon Ball came out so much longer than all of those. Like right, and just original Dragon Ball dropped when I was born. That's how I know the shit's old. And I'm like, damn, I'm old. I get it. I'm getting the prehistoric levels of age. So I don't take no offense to it when I talk about my childhood. And so I'm like, bro, like those shows are old. Like I consider those literally in the category. I call them like the founders. Like you got all the old anime that came out in like the early 90s, the back end of like the 80s and stuff like that, like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu, Gundam, like all those anime got a lot of people started into anime before they even knew what anime was because they were like 3 or 4 years old. But then with the big three hit, that really pushed the mainstream. And so that's what made the big three as popular as it was. It was also around the time, I think, that's when Y2K was hitting. So there was a lot of stuff going on at that time, but it just pushed anime into being what anime was going to be in the future. So
big fact. So while we're on the big three conversation, because we're not downplaying anybody, who is your favorite MC from the big three?
MC, well, I think I'm biased as hell when I say that, being a One Piece stan, but of course I love Luffy. I personally feel that Naruto is more popular than Luffy and Ichigo, though. Like Naruto, when people see the orange jumpsuit, the yellow hair, I just think people instantly know, okay, that's Naruto. I might not have even watched the episode, but that's Naruto. So I don't consider him as popular as Luffy.
Definitely in the United States, Naruto is the most popular of people. Yeah, but I feel like in Japan, Luffy might be the most popular. But we're not talking about Japan. We're all, I mean, all of us are in the United States. So
yes, we are. Yeah. So, Panda somewhere in Narnia somewhere. Like she don't count. She's not in the US right now. She's like in a whole.
Technically, I am in Japan. I am like ex-cars. Well, I'm not ex-cars. I'm still in high school. That makes me a creep. Well, technically, I am because like. I'm with the MSBY Black Jackals. There we go.
We definitely got to plan a trip to Japan. I don't know how we're going to do that.
But I already said if I ever go out there, I'm probably not coming back to the States. So I'm trying to stay away from going out there because I know me. I think I love it a little bit too much out there.
But Panda, who's your favorite of the big three?
Naruto has always been my favorite, but my Naruto always like. I feel like as a fan of any series, you have to be willing to accept the critiques that are like the faults within that series. And I know Naruto has hella faults with the female characters, Masashi, Kishimoto. Respect to you, but you didn't do shit for any female characters.
You did not. I would completely agree. Naruto does not have the best female characters out of these three for sure.
But I want to say, and on behalf, and you know, like Bleach is my second favorite, and Bleach has always been like my top 5, to be honest. And my top 5 shifts, but Haikyuu stays at number 1. But the thing with like Ichigo that I appreciate is like he's not similar to that of Goku. And what I mean is not to say your Luffy and Naruto are carbon copies, but they have traits that remind you of Goku. They eat a lot.
Yes,
they kind of slow a little bit. Like they have those qualities that are similar to Goku, but Ichigo is his own person, and like plus Ichigo doesn't really have any dreams like Naruto and Luffy. Ichigo is just like, my nigga, I just want to live my life. And y'all keep on attacking my friends. And, like, I'm tired of this shit, bro. Like, let me live my life. Like, that's all Ichigo wants to do is protect his friends, which is, like, admirable and shit. And I really appreciate Type Kubo bringing other cultures into his characters. Because you notice the Soul Reapers are Japanese.
Yep.
The Espada and all of the other hollows are basically, well, the more advanced hollows are Spanish and Latino. And then you have the Sternritter, who are German. And I really appreciate him incorporating those different cultures into his series. I hate how they screwed him on the ending, but I do appreciate that. And I think people don't have as much appreciation for Bleach as they do the other 2 series, which I hate. Like, people are always saying Bleach is the worst out of the big 3. And they always talk about the fillers. But for me, Bleach has the best fillers out of the big 3.
Bleach has some solid fillers. I will not deny that.
Some very solid fillers. And I would, if I had to go back and watch series, like based on just the fillers, I would choose to watch Bleach's fillers because they have some good fillers. A lot of those fillers have some good villains and some good concepts, especially the Zanpakuto coming to life. Yep. Especially I kind of enjoyed the Bound arc. Don't tell Mike, don't let him know. He probably knows. But I actually enjoyed the Bound arc, even though it was like not like canon at all. Like, I'm not a fan of fillers, but I'll be the first to admit that Bleach has some amazing fillers. And I really feel like people sleep or like try to like talk down to Bleach without actually watching it and enjoying the fuck out. They say Bleach has more fillers. Bleach has a lot of fillers. Bleach doesn't have that many fillers. Bleach does not have that many fucking fillers. And for people to say that means that they didn't really watch Bleach. Right. And you can always skip the goddamn fillers. Dipshit.
It's only 250 something total. You know what I mean? Like, it's nowhere close to as near as Naruto and One Piece.
Naruto got like a lot of fillers, especially before Sasuke ass left. They got a lot of fillers.
Naruto. If we're ranking
fillers,
the only Naruto filler I could go back and watch is when they try to get Kakashi to take his mask off.
That was funny. That I'll be honest, that's a classic one.
If we
Naruto is known for fillers.
It's definitely Bleach, One Piece, Naruto. If we rank it fillers,
yes,
because Naruto has some fucking dry. Listen. If you ever read the Bible, Leviticus, Naruto, Naruto is Leviticus.
Oh my god!
Oh my lord!
You did not just compare Naruto filler to the Bible. I'm like I didn't hear that. Lord, don't spite me because of Steve, because I did not do it.
No.
Don't spite me because of Steve.
There's
like make sure that like your boy hits him in Texas or wherever the hell he's at, but don't let it come to Cali.
There's some good stuff in the Bible, but Leviticus, boy, that motherfucker is dry. Oh Lord, yeah.
Oh my God.
We have Pastor J Rock because he tell you Leviticus is dry.
Let me text. Actually, you know what? Let me tweet him.
Yeah, just text him. Is Leviticus dry? Just message him.
Leviticus again, Lord.
I'm gonna add him on Twitter.
If you send your bolts, make sure they are aimed for the state of Texas. Keep them away from Panda because Panda was a part of this.
If Leviticus
was completely away from Cali because I had nothing to do with this, Lord.
If Leviticus was a dry wine, what dry wine would it be? Because good Lord. But anyway.
I'm waiting on him to respond.
You just let us know. But so what else is so the big three, what is your who has the better cast, if you will?
Probably I'm gonna say in between Bleach and One Piece.
Of course I'm a little bit biased towards One Piece, but I sort of like the cast of Bleach for sure. Like I just felt that they like Bleach for sure. Like I'm gonna just clarify this: Bleach had the best trip. Because the Bleach characters were fitted, and I mean, like seriously, their clothing, like Kubo, is it Kubo or Kibo? I might be butchering it.
Kubo.
Thank you.
Kubo.
My man knew how to draw his characters up nice. Like they was fitted. Whether it was the girls in bathing suits, whether it was the first episode where they showed the intro and it had everybody in snowboarding gear.
Asterisk. Oh, that shit was fire. Niggas had on the white and the blue and the red and the headphones.
He put them in everything. Oh man, he was like, bro, we about to stunt. Like, this is my first opening. We are a stunt team.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And it was just like, man. Like, yeah, for sure. Bleach had the best drip. I'm leaning that way. And I almost, like I said, I already said it earlier, but I'm leaning more towards that Bleach might have the best waifus. I say that half-heartedly, but that's another conversation for another day. But for sure, best drip. Oh yeah,
Bleach got some good ass. Like you got Yoruichi, Hadi Bell, Orihime, Ranki.
Hey, now Orihime now. That's just Ichigo in the sexy clone jutsu.
Oh no, dude! Don't do that. Somebody did that on Twitter.
We're not gonna do Orihime in no way like that. God damn it! No, we're not gonna do.
Everybody just heard that. Now the only thing they can see is Bleach. I mean, it's Ichigo in the sexy clone.
Ichigo does not. Orihime does not act anything like Ichigo. They just have colorful hair. The only reason you're saying that is because she has colorful hair. That's it.
Yeah, that was wild. That take was absolutely absurd. I was like, look, I get it. You're trying to slender a series, but jeez, come on, man, be better. Be better, dog. Like, come on now. And again, why are you even trying to slender the big three? Like, their sales alone almost keeps them from not being slender. I'm not saying there's nothing bad about the series. Every series has its pros and cons. But for you to just be flat out slender, and it was just, man. Twitter can be toxic, y'all. Twitter can be toxic. I tell you that much.
That blue bird. But
for real. Okay, you just hold on. Now I heard Bluebird, so now I think we're gonna go into the wheelhouse of me and Panda.
Oh,
you know where I'm going with this, Panda. And you openings. Who had the top? Who had them? Because I mean, all of them came. Like let's be honest, all of them came with it because I remember Bleach using Asian Kung Fu Generation a lot. I do remember Naruto using Asian Kung Fu Generation a lot. One Piece never had Asian Kung Fu Generation, but. I mean,
I'm gonna be biased between Bleach and Naruto because I didn't.
That's fair.
The only open I really listened to by from One Piece is One Day by the Rootless. That's the only open I've ever fully listened to and really enjoyed. But as far as Bleach and Naruto, I gotta say, not just openings but endings as well. And I hate that we didn't get the full experience of that. But I have to go with Naruto because.
Hey,
Bleach did have some misses. Naruto has some misses too, but like, cause okay, so like if we have to go by opening one of Bleach and Naruto, and I'm talking about full open, not because the English like openings we didn't have a lot. Some of the openings we didn't get from Japan. Right. So you have opening one of Bleach, which is Asterisk by Orange Range. Opening one of Naruto, which is Rocks, and I don't remember the band. I have to go with Bleach because that opening for Naruto, opening one for Naruto didn't stand out to me. Opening two, however, I'm gonna have to go with Far Away by Asian Kung Fu Generation for Naruto.
Okay.
Although I love D Techno Life by Uberworld though, but they sing about the same shit all the time.
They do. Uberworld has the same sound. It sounds like they talk about the same thing.
I'm just like, this is what you said, and like, love is this, and I'm just like, nigga, talk about something else.
And I think
what else is the bitch
the third ending, or the third opening for Bleach was the
Ichiri no Hayana by Hayamite Color.
I love that song. I love that song.
We didn't get a chance to hear you turn your sadness into kindness from Little by Little, which is a banger. I hate that we missed out on the opportunity, but I think Ichiri no Hana hit harder. I will say that.
I didn't.
It did hit a lot harder because, like, you saw them graphics, my nigga. Like, this shit's fire.
Like, they were all, like, basically, it was the first time you're meeting everybody from the Soul Society. So
it was kind of the first time you was meeting her white Ichigo fully. You see outside what that nigga could do?
Yep, so that was good. One Piece had its openings, not much. Of course, everybody remembers We Are. The second one was Believe in Wonderland, which pretty decent, but not as popular. I don't think
that One Piece not touching either one of them. Honestly.
No, I don't believe that. It's third on the list. Like One Piece had some catchy ones, but
it's not touching the power of Naruto and Bleach. It's not
nowhere close. We all agree on that.
Opening 4 for Naruto and Bleach. So you have for Naruto, you have Go by Flow.
I love
probably want to choose that one, but I love Tonight. For the record, it's called Go. It's not called Fighting Dreamers. For everyone who does not seem to know that, but I do love Tonight by Beat Crusaders. That is a good opening, and I really enjoyed it. Opening 5, you have Again by Yui for Bleach, and then you have I love Youth Rhapsody by Sambo Master. I gotta go with Youth Rhapsody.
Yeah, that Sambo Master. Come on.
I got it. Them graphics, that allusion to Sasuke being on some fuck shit in the opening.
That was what it was. Like the lyrics and the images fit the Sambo Master song a little bit too perfect.
You saw like Kiba, Naruto, Neji, Shikamaru and Choji all team up to go find Sasuke, and I did enjoy opening 5 again by Yui, but something about Sambo Master's vocals and the guitar and riff and everything hit a lot harder. So with opening 6, you have No Boys No Cry by Stance Punks for Naruto, and then you have Alones by Aqua Times. I gotta go with Alone because that's my shit. Like Aqua Times, they disbanded some years ago. Love them. I really love them. But they did this shit like Oreta, Suba. I thought Cone was out here banging and shit.
So but then I'll ask you as you go through the opening, then I'll ask each three of us, what is your top opening? And it could just be from any of the 3 series. Your top opening. I'm not going to give you one from each series. I'm going to give you the best opening from the 3. You only get one. You get one. So name one. I know what mine is, so I'm curious to see what yours is.
You want to do opening and endings?
No, just you can do endings, but I'm thinking of openings off the top of my head. Endings, yes, sure. We'll do that.
Mine actually are both Naruto. Mine are Fighting Dreamers.
Okay.
Go, nigga. Go.
Not go. Flow.
Go by flow.
Yeah, go by flow. My bad. I'm sorry, Panda. But for the simple niggas that don't know nobody.
Yes, because there are some that might not know it's go.
J-Rock said, yep, least favorite book is in the Bible for me.
J-Rock about to get smited too. Jeez, oh my goodness.
My favorite ending is Wind on the first.
Oh, I know he's talking about
that's
with the flute.
Yeah, that's my shit. Okay. That shit almost made me tear up one day. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I listen to this song all the time, but it was because I was drunk. I was like, my drunk ass done got emotional in this shit.
That's fair. Panda, name your opening and endings. You only get one. You get one.
It's so hard.
Pressure.
Okay, let me go based off of the shit that I listen to most often.
Right. You gotta be one. It's one, so you gotta choose either one from Naruto, Bleach, or One Piece. You only get one.
It's probably gonna be a Naruto opening, knowing me. Actually. Shit.
I think we got her. We got her a little bit.
Okay. I can't go based off what I listen to all the time because, like, I listen to a lot of fucking openings, especially from especially from Bleach and Naruto. So I'm gonna have to go with like probably Haruka Kanata, Far Away by Honshu Kung Fu Generation is my favorite opening because, I mean, Alon's will probably be the next one from Bleach, Alon's by Aqua Times, but like. If you play that, a lot of people recognize that shit. And, like, I have to appreciate Asian Couple Generation for always delivering
Listen,
that
band gives you music. Like,
Hey, Masafumi is my fucking favorite. I love him. Like, his voice is amazing. And if I had to go to Asian Couple Generation, I'm cutting the fuck up. Fuck you mean. Plus, their album art is amazing. Like, this shit gorgeous as fuck.
Especially for is it Again? Is that the name of the album? If I'm not mistaken, for Asian.
I think it might be Again.
Yeah,
I just, like, they have a lot of like album art that's so beautiful, and I have used it as my like backgrounds before on my computer, my old laptop.
I ain't mad at you. But what about your ending?
My top ending, however.
Here we go.
Oh shit! There's so many good ass ones.
Yeah, the endings is hard. People don't listen to endings.
They don't, and I really want people to start listening to ending songs because a lot of them are bangers. But I would have to pick.
Break the shackles of not listening to endings.
But I have to say, I might. It's in between. It's in between Orchestra of Midnight by Aqua Times, which is from Naruto. Because Naruto, the Naruto OVA, Naruto X UT, which had so many amazing scenes. It's like, y'all gotta watch it. It's a great OVA. They use Orchestra of Midnight by Aqua Times as a song, which is really good. It hits you right here. I watched it years ago. It hits you. I kept rewatching this shit while I was under the dryer in a beauty shop when I still had a perm. That's how good the shit was. Either that or probably Mask by Aqua Times, which is the last opening for Bleach. It's in between those two. I have a lot of them that I really, really like that I can't just help just listen to, but it's in between those two, though. I have to give it in between those two.
Fair enough. Now, if I'm looking at
your turn.
All right, so my favorite opening comes from Naruto as well, and mine is Bluebird. And the reason that Bluebird stood out to me, I don't know what it was, but it was just something about I was like, all right, I don't need to hear no more. That's 2 seconds where I looked into a song, and I was just like, all right. And I think what it was the arc that Naruto, it was Shoot Up. So the arc that it was on is when, spoiler alert, is when I think it is it Asuka? The guy that was that was Shikamaru's leader team. Is it
Asuma?
Thank you, Azuma.
It does reference Asuma's death a little bit.
So the song just was like, damn, he really did, and so it made you emotional, but it was just like, damn, her singing is really catching me completely off guard. But it was just, I don't know, it was something about that open that she was singing that shit. Oh man. No soda. Sorry.
Monogatari be having some bangers. Then they that and Hikari. I forgot the name of the song, but that was opening 5.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my opening. Like I said, that opening is just something about it. I don't know what it is, but it stays in my head. Like I'd be somewhere random, just I'd be like, why? Why did this pop up? Like I'm at work. Like why is this going on? So that. And then my ending is actually from One Piece, believe it or not. We haven't mentioned much songs from One Piece, but my ending is from One Piece, and it's called Glory. It's a song where they're in the Alabasta arc, and they're they're in the Alabasta arc, and basically the ending is basically like Vivi, which is their temporary crewmate with them. And so the song, it starts off with a piano lead, and then it just goes into this I don't know what that would be, like a flute or something like that, but it gives you like a 90s feel. And from there on in, I was like, okay, it was an emotional song. It related to Vivi and her trials and tribulations, so it hit me a little bit hard. But the song was just like, man, chill, real emotional, but the singer was just going off. And I'm like, damn, like you don't get enough credit because you're really singing this shit. But those are my two. So those are my two. And it's fun because literally, these animes have been out for so long, yet their music has resonated in everybody in some way, shape, or form. Like, Steve didn't even know the name of the song, but we all know if we hear "We Are Fighting," people will call it "Fighting Dreamers" to the end of time and never know the name of the goddamn opening. But if you say "Fighting Dreamers" and start singing it, people gonna know, oh, that's the Naruto. Yeah, so those songs will be iconic by some very iconic bands throughout our time. So
that's my shit.
Fighting Dreamers is nice. I get it.
48 minutes. We got time. We'll do one more topic from the big 3, and then we'll go into the top 5. In the top 5, I feel like we're gonna argue.
Top 5? Okay, I'm curious what we're talking about. Go ahead.
It's only 3. It's 3 of us. It's not 4, so we can do top 5 instead of 3.
Are you talking about the draft?
Yeah, the draft.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the draft. Okay.
The draft. So we can do one more topic from the big 3.
Fair enough.
We're only giving flowers. We're not diminishing the big 3.
No. None of this has been knocking any of the big 3. We understand the influence that the big 3 had on anime and manga in general. So we all understand what it brought to us, and we get it. It's like there's no point of trashing something that literally went on for years and that hyped up what we all love, which is anime. So why trash it? Like, give it its flowers while it's here, right?
So who has... Damn, I don't feel like that's fair.
I mean, it might be. Go ahead and throw it out. Too late. You didn't already started it.
Who got the best villains out of the big 3?
Oh, I sort of know where this is going.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's why I said I don't feel like that's fair because...
Okay, no, but I mean, if we're taking top villains overall, Naruto, I don't care what anybody fucking says, Madara should have been the motherfucking villain of Naruto.
He should have been the main
villain. They fucked that up.
They
you don't have a man come in who's been hyped up and talked about for literally like 600 episodes. Like, literally, he's been talked about for so goddamn long.
And make him not the main villain.
His introduction is literally him going against an entire army. The entire army is so terrified that they had to scream war cries to even get the gumption to run to one human. And he goes out and absolutely whoops everybody's ass with no hesitation. My man, when I saw the visual, when they showed him and his eyes were darting around, I got scared. I'm not even on the motherfucking battlefield. I'm like, the fuck?
This would have been me in the background, like y'all got it. Y'all got it.
There was somebody in a TikTok video where they were saying a ninja at the Great Ninja War, and dude was just looking lost on the battlefield, and he like, you good? And he's like, niggas just getting killed by it, and they was like, wait, Madara's on the way. And he looked at it, he's like, oh, Madara. He turned back around, and he looked in the sky. He's like, is that a fucking meteor? I said, was like, I get it.
When I first read that in the manga, I was like, bitch, is that a fucking nigga? And then when Onoki managed to catch the first, I was like, bitch, is that a fucking
bro? Like this nigga Madara was on some real goon shit. Like he was like, bro, overtime started like 2 hours.
And Zetsu, I'm just like,
they fucked that up. I'm sorry, my man literally as a villain should have been the main villain.
Number one.
He was such
that's actually what GB and I think Sensei would definitely agree with that. That Madara should have been the main villain.
Like he was too badass, and all the hype that it led up to until he got there, and then he not only held down the hype, not only did he completely he fucking surpassed the hype. He went so fucking crazy in his introduction. Like that shit was crazy. So for sure, in my opinion, Madara, I wouldn't consider him the best villain because I do fuck with Aizen, and I like the way that
Aizen would have played Madara like a fiddle,
like
to
a
be
fucking
completely
flute,
honest.
like a flute. And I feel bad because Madara was the motherfucking monster, but Aizen, when talking about smart ass characters playing the world,
to be honest,
Aizen did his shit, and I ain't even mad at it. Like Kubo wrote one hell of a villain. Like seriously, he wrote a villain. That's for damn sure. So,
to be honest, best villains. I got One Piece just because Doflamingo is just that fire.
And Doflamingo is my top villain in One Piece, and I get it. I do completely understand.
I do fuck with Kaido right now, but number 2 is definitely Aizen.
Yeah, Aizen's a fucking.
Aizen is just really that nigga. But
like you knew shit was bad. Like you knew shit was bad when Ichigo's theme song started to play. And you already know Ichigo's theme song number 1.
He stopped that nigga theme song.
My man stopped his theme song mid-fight. I said, no. I said, no. Like, this shit's ending. Like, you should have just cut the fucking episode at this point because you want some other shit. Like, I said, yeah, all right. This motherfucker's a badass, and I'm all here for it. I'm like, bro, look, do your carnage. I don't care who the fuck you kill at this point, dog. Go to work, because I'm trying to see what you about to do.
Bro, yeah, he stopped that nigga theme song.
He stopped Ichigo's theme song.
Aizen is definitely my number 2, but if we did like strongest, it's different. Like, obviously, I feel like Aizen is stronger than Dofi.
Yeah,
definitely. If you're doing like power-wise, but if we're talking about like actual everything entwined with it, like the whole everything with it, Dofi is my favorite. Then I would give it to fucking Dofi.
Dofi was a dick.
Yeah, Dofi.
He was an asshole at his fight.
I've heard stories about Dofi.
Yeah, Dofi was.
He's a dickhead. Pretty much.
Dofi, wow. He's a dickhead. And what made it better is that as we got to learn more about him, because they kept so much under wraps about Dofi, as you got to know more about him and about who he was, you're like, dog, you went from a dick to like a major asshole. Like you are just for a villain that's not even the main villain.
No BL though. No yaoi in this bitch.
Imagine Light Yagami, how you said he was like everything was given to him. Because that's pretty much what Dofi was. Yeah. Everything was given to him. And then his parents had a change of heart. And he was like, nah, I'm used to this.
Like, yo, y'all been feeding me the silver spoon for how many years now? You want to take this motherfucker away?
Fuck everybody, fuck everything you going through because I'm used to this. And then on top of that, let me partner with the niggas, the Celestial Dragon. Right. Dofi was definitely my number 1.
Dofi was fucking
Like to kill your parents and your brother.
Yeah, Dofi was on some shit. You gotta be fucking cold-hearted, dog. Yeah, you killing relatives and siblings, dog. You gonna kill moms and pops? Like, damn, dog, chill. Like, nigga,
you kill both is like this nigga really is that nigga. And then on top of that, Aizen was my second, and then Madara would be my third.
Fair enough.
But overall, villains, if we go deeper than that, you got what's his name? Kaido. Then also you have Crocodile, and then you also have
Inaru.
Yeah, I was about to say his Japanese name, but Inaru, that's better.
I thought Inaru was his Japanese name, and Enel was his English name.
Right.
Enel is his. I thought
in Japan they don't pronounce their L's, like they don't really say luge, like they'll pronounce them like R's because L isn't technically part of their alphabet. So
yeah, but either way, that and I'm like, okay, those are stacked. Then
I mean, we talk about 1 through 10. Yeah, I can lean towards One Piece and don't feel guilty. I mean, I think, but yeah, I lean towards One Piece and not feel as guilty. I would lean towards Bleach having the like strongest character overall. We leave it Aizen. And then the most badass villain, I lean to Madara. So I mean, if we do it that way, that's my opinion. But
I want to put Orochimaru in the running, and here's why. Because Orochimaru scared the shit out of me when he first popped up on the screen. I was like, who is this woman-looking bitch? Why her face coming off?
Did we all think he was a woman in the beginning? I think so. I thought it was a woman the whole fucking time, dog.
I just knew this nigga. People were making Michael Jackson jokes.
People still make Michael Jackson.
People still make Michael Jackson jokes.
But honestly, I had Naruto as my second. Bleach was my third because other than Aizen, the villains on Bleach are just.
Yeah, I don't remember too many villains.
Ukiura was a good villain. Grimmjow was a good villain.
Okay, Grimmjow was pretty good.
Grimmjow was good, but
was he a villain?
He was a good villain, even though he ended up being kind of like on the good guy side. But Mayuri was kind of like. That nigga fucking freaky as fuck.
I don't remember. Was Grimmjow like an anti-villain? Like, was he part good, part bad? I really don't remember.
No, he was. He wanted to fuck Ichigo up. He wanted to beat Ichigo ass. Nah, he was in the spider. He was a whole spider.
All right.
Naruto got Madara. They got Orochimaru. They got Pain. Zabuza. It's just Zabuza. It's just.
Like, even though Zabuza was technically Naruto's first villain, Orochimaru was the first motherfucker that really gave me chills at this bitch. I ain't know who this nigga was, what he wanted with Sasuke and shit. That nigga was frightening. And the music they played when it came to him was fucking frightening. That woman singing in the background and shit.
Yeah, no, she's right. You're right, because you're like, who the fuck is this nigga and why is he so terrifying?
When I first watched this shit, I would hide my face because I was so scared of this man. They made him into some type of game card with Boruto, and I still wonder why the fuck they let this nigga live. Like, this nigga killed the third, did experiments on babies, gave Sasuke the fucking curse mark, and made him betray the fucking village, and has done so much damage to fucking the Leaf village and shit. But this nigga gets to live.
He got a fucking pass. Like, Naruto was like, bro.
Somehow.
I get it, dog, but you tripping, bro. Like, this is the one where you could have executed him and nobody would have batted a fucking eye if Orochimaru was dead. Like, seriously. Like,
I sure would have looked like this. Crazy.
Then like, ooh, shame
hate
on
to
you.
see it.
Like,
hate to fucking see it.
For real. Hate to see it, but you gotta go, dog. For real.
Yeah.
I'm still confused. Why the fuck they let Sasuke go?
Yeah, that's a whole other situation. Like, that motherfucker should have been hiding too. But we'll keep that for another episode. And we ain't going to the toxic relationship that Sasuke has. Oh my god.
I want so much better for and people might hate me for this. I want so much better for Sakura as a character. I don't think y'all understand. Because Sakura, when she was younger, she reminded me a lot of me, like having a crush on this nigga who really don't really know you exist and no shit like that. But she reminded me of a young me. That bitch is stupid. But she reminded me of a young me. I wanted a lot more for Sakura as a character. I wanted a lot more for all the female characters, but especially Sakura. She's a main fucking female character. Like, she's like one of the main female characters. And like, to this day, because of how little she got from Kakashi, I really feel like that's also part of Kakashi's failure as a fucking sensei. Kakashi barely did shit for Naruto until after Jiraiya got a hold of him. And I don't give a fuck how many people want to say Kakashi was a good sensei. He's not. He's fucking not. Okay, Asuma was a better sensei than Kakashi.
That's a fucking fact. Like, there was nobody that argue that. He was a
when Asuma fucking died,
and my guy was a better sensei.
He literally had something to say with each of the three. He told he told Ino, don't let Sakura beat her. He told a lot of shit to Shikamaru because he was close to Shikamaru, but he still had shit for Choji and Ino. He went with them. He hung out with him. And I understood why Kakashi didn't want Sasuke to be on his own, but you could have had trained Sasuke with his fucking team. You didn't have to bring Sasuke by himself. You could have had Naruto and Sakura training along with him. And yeah, he could have taught him Chidori Steel, but like you could have given Sakura something. And she was y'all weak. You only as strong as your weakest link. And if we had to put all the teams up against each other based off of team work alone, probably Inashiku Cho Team 8 would fucking win that shit.
Yeah.
Was that Team 10 who was fucking Hinata and them's team? Well, they probably would have got second. But like Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura didn't really have their teamwork together like that.
No, they didn't. And it's fucked up because you didn't get to see their true teamwork, honestly, until Boruto. Which is stupid as fuck because it's like, bro, like, these are the two main fucking, like, literally at one point the joke was that the fucking anime should be called Sasuke because it was so much about fucking Sasuke. So if you got these two main characters, or you got one main character and then the other one's 1B, why did we not get to see them truly work together? Like, why did you have to wait till the whole?
I mean, we could say the war, but like it was mostly Sakura using Katsuyu to like, and here's and this is another point I do want to make, not just for Sakura but Tsunade. People have to remember. Okay, let me preface this conversation by saying this: Tsunade's not the worst Hokage, and here's why. People want to say, well, she didn't do shit during the pain arc. I want people to understand that as a medical ninja, you're not supposed to be on the front lines.
Right.
You are literally a healer.
Exactly.
Because if you die, who's going to be there to heal everyone else who's fucking injured?
Like,
the reason Tsunade's a fighter, but she's a medical ninja originally. Okay? She healed. If it wasn't for her, a lot of people in the village would have fucking died. She literally went into a coma because she used too much of her chakra to heal everyone in the village that was injured. I need people to use their fucking critical thinking skills to remember that Tsunade and Sakura are both medical ninja. Tsunade herself told Sakura, you are not to be on the front lines unless absolutely necessary because you are a medical ninja. You need to heal people. Y'all don't see wartime doctors being on the front lines fighting.
Bro, that's the big
because they're in the background healing people, make sure people are fucking safe and
that's
not
like injured. MMO like 101. Like your healer's never in the fucking front. Like your healer's guarded.
And in reference to Grimgar, Fantasy, and Ash, them niggas learn that shit the hard way.
The hard fucking way because boy, you want to talk about losing your healer quickly? Y'all motherfuckers.
That nigga was a healer in the tank, which didn't make any sense. Y'all niggas didn't want to train before you go out and fight, but that's another story. That's another story. We need Tail for that because that's Tail shit, telling Polo shit though.
Oh yeah, Grimar. Yeah, Grimar was fucking crazy, bro. That was the realest fucking RPG like fantasy type anime that I've seen in a long time. I remember like my jaw was.
There was a reason they friend died, but I ain't gonna
how the fuck you lose your tank and your fucking healer? Y'all was.
How do you make your healer your fucking tank though?
It was
like I literally said that I was watching, like y'all niggas didn't want to train before y'all go and try to fight these monsters. You could barely beat 6-on-1.
I agree. I agree. That anime has some real ass fucking moments. They learn the hard fucking way real fast. Like, oh, we might not survive. Yeah, that's for real. That was all bad. But yeah, no. Any last thoughts on the big three? I mean, this has been an excellent conversation, but I mean, any last thoughts that you want to give off, Panda, on the big three? Like I said, you know where I stand on it, but I want to hear your thoughts on how you feel about the big three overall. Your last points.
The big three all have my respect, even though I'm not an avid One Piece watcher and reader. I do respect One Piece as a series and for all its popularity and for what my pod, shout out to Worst Gen. Go listen. Shout out to Worst Gen. I really just appreciate One Piece for what it is and what I watch. I didn't stop watching One Piece because I didn't like it. It's never been that. It's just I fell off of it and I might start reading, might being the big word because the nigga lazy. So, but I do think the big three, sans One Piece, that I don't watch it. Bleach and Naruto I do have my critiques for them, but I do appreciate them for what they brought to my life as someone who. Like, Naruto got me into fan fictions, and I've been reading fan fictions for years. And I've been reading Bleach fan fictions, too. Like, they introduced me to so many characters that I authentically enjoyed and so many concepts in anime that I enjoy. So I appreciate them for what they brought, despite the criticisms that I have for them. So, shout out to Tai Kubo. Shout out to Masashi Kishimoto. Shout out to Oda. Y'all have done such amazing work. I hope Oda continues to make some good stuff for all the people who are One Piece fans. And when I start reading it, I do believe it'll be definitely excellent whenever I start reading it. And I hope the ending for One Piece, when it comes, is a lot better for One Piece fans than Bleach and Naruto did for me. Especially Bleach. So,
Scuba,
that's my thoughts.
What's your last thoughts on the big three?
My last thoughts are... One Piece for me is my favorite. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, not to disrespect anybody, but One Piece is my GOAT of all anime. Like not just the big three. It's my GOAT of everything. Naruto is very much so fire as fuck. And I'm hoping because everybody said that Boruto just got out of filler. So now Boruto is fire. So I'm gonna jump into it. I don't know where that picks up in the manga. But I'm thinking about just jumping into it from the manga point, not from the anime point. And then Bleach, when this last the war comes, I'm going to jump into that. I feel like they're all great from their particular standpoint, and I don't feel like anybody is necessarily trash. I do give, for me, I was like joking with Mike or whatever. I was like, Bleach is a 7 out of 10, but even a 7 out of 10 is not calling it trash.
There's some anime that'll kill for a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I remember
for Bleach's ending, that is good.
Bro, I got stoned for that shit.
I mean, you shouldn't have, because like I feel like you were being fair, and you're like, as long as you weren't saying Bleach is garbage and giving a bullshit ass reason. I ain't gonna say no names, but them niggas back on Clubhouse from last week, y'all still can catch this fade. Fuck you thought this was.
I got Bleach a 7 out of 10. I was like, I thought, and I honestly and truthfully was just being honest. And boy, I got fucking dragged on Twitter for that shit.
hey,
And now I'm the Bleach, quote unquote, I'm the Bleach hater. I don't know how that happened. But yeah. Yeah, the big three is fuck what it is. There is no new big three. The big three is One Piece, Naruto, Bleach. Okay, get out your feelings. There is no Black Clover, My Hero, JJK, big three. I
just want y'all to understand that this is very accurate. Stop trying to recreate that shit. The big three was given because of multiple factors that these anime and manga have not reached. I love JJK. I appreciate My Hero Academia as well. I will never call them part of big three. So stop trying to give them some shit that's already been given and never be given again. Because bitch, nobody will be the new Boyz II Men. Nobody will be the new Destiny's Child. Nobody will be the new Isley Brothers. No one will be the new Michael Jackson, the new Prince, the new Whitney Houston. No.
It's just what it is. Yeah. Like, why come y'all can accept the fact that it is what it is? Make a different name. I don't give a fuck. Call it the Great Trio. Like I don't give.
Call it the new three.
No, don't do that shit. Because you gonna give motherfuckers an inch, they take a fucking motherfucking 3, 5, 600 miles.
Unfortunately,
don't do that shit. Y'all just appreciate anime manga for what it is. It doesn't need a specific title to make it great. If it's great, it'll stand on its own without being part of a trio.
Right. I think honestly, you two said it the best. Like I can't really add much to that. Honestly, the big three is the big three, dog. Just appreciate like how far and wide they touched, and appreciate the fact that literally they were like they're one of the good reasons that anime became as popular as it is right now because of those three. Seriously, they like started the anime boom for damn sure in the US. So just appreciate it for what it is. There's no slander. If you got your favorite, that's fine, but they're all good. There's a reason that it's not called the big 2 and 1. No, it's called the big fucking 3. So accept them for what it is. Seriously.